Hi guys. Wanted to show you these. These are what I use for skinning. These were my grandfather's. So I use them and think of him every time I skin a deer.
Gotta have a sawzall.
Yeah.
Makes it so much easier.
Okay. That part's done. So I don't know if you guys can see these. They got the little knobbies on them, little rubber. They help grab a hold of that hide. I know there's easier ways to get the hide off, but our barn's never been sturdy enough to do that. Jim fixes the torch and gets all the hair off of it. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that. He torches it to get all the hair off of it.
So it takes Brenda about 45 minutes to skin. We're old and arthritic. We used to do it faster when we were younger. We like processing our own, so because we know what we get. There's some real good processors out there, but it's so expensive now. So we didn't do it for a while. We took them to a processor for a few years, and then we started not liking what we were getting back. So we decided to sacrifice hunting to process our own again. We did it for years. Went to a processor for about 2 or 3 years, and then went back to doing it ourselves again. It takes us a while just because we're old. People can do it faster, but we take our time. So I'm going to take the shoulders off, which are down here, and Brenda's will start working on those. And I cut the tenderloins out, which are on the inside of the rib cage here, and they're a very good cut of meat. And then I take the back straps off, which is goes down the side of both of the backbones. It was on a pig. It's where you get your pork chops, and we keep them whole. And I normally cook them in my smoker, and they turn out really well. We keep the neck. We keep as much of the neck as we can. We add it into grind for hamburger. You can actually cut it and use it as a roast, cook it in the crock pot, but we don't do that. And then we get our large cuts, our steaks, and our roast out of the hindquarters.
And we'll show you that. I'll set it up and show it to you.
So this will all get cleaned out. And we put these in a pot and let them soak. And we take them in the house and clean it all out real well. And then I like to smoke these too, but you can cook them many ways. A lot of people like to fry their deer meat. We don't, Brenda and I really don't eat fried food very often. So, but we have an air fryer now. So
Yeah.
that might be something we have to
Try.
try. Now, of course, this is the first one of the season, so I'm a little rusty. But
And usually it's fresh, not.
yeah.
It's kind of stiff from hanging all night.
And we were able to hang him last night because it got down in the mid-30s. Otherwise, we would have had to come home and skin him.
Yep.
And then he still would have hung overnight. Only if you can get it started. There's a little cavity up in here, and I just take my knife and go around the cavity.
This is what the part he does. I haven't ever done it, so I'd probably butcher it up.
No, you do fine. This is a real flexible fillet knife, so it bends really well.
This is what you got to be careful when you're getting the deer, so you don't.
Yeah, you can tear them
Yeah.
when you're gutting the deer. Some guys I know are able to get these out in the field before they gut their deer. I don't know how they do it, so I don't try. Oh, it's not much meat, but it's really tender. So we'll put these, I'll get the other one out and we'll put them in the water and stick them out here in the refrigerator.
Yep.
So.
Soak them. Then we'll clean them up.
Now, I'm not left-handed. This side's
That's what I was saying earlier. When
this side's harder for me to do.
our grandson's left-handed.
Yeah, he comes in handy.
Yeah, we're teaching him how to skin it and
But
stuff.
he's in school.
Yeah. So when I do that, the right side, it's with the left hand, and I'm not left-handed, so it's a little awkward.
And that's it. That's that part. So I'll take the shoulders off and then
I'll start.
I'm nasty. So I'm gonna take the shoulders off, and Brenda will start working on the shoulders, and then I'm gonna come down here along the spine and do the same thing, kind of like what I did on there, and cut the back straps out. Now this is all deer fat, deer tallow. You can't eat this.
And you want to take it off.
Yeah, we have to peel all this off because it makes a real pasty taste.
Yeah.
To the meat or whatever. So, being that this is we have no acorns out there on our lease, and normally they get acorn fat, but he looks pretty healthy. So this is also an indication that it's going to be a cold winter when you're killing your deer, and they still have a lot of fat on them when it's the middle of the rut, when they're breeding and they run a lot.
Right. So, he hadn't run too much though.
No, he wasn't.
His glands wasn't dark.
No.
And he wasn't in too hurry following the doe.
Which got him in trouble.
Yeah, he was just curious.
Chasing the girls got him in trouble. Got him a ride home in our truck.
And, Yep.
And provide many meals, nutritious meals for me and Brenda. We've been married 32 years, and we hardly ever buy beef.
Yep.
We buy pork, but we been fortunate. God's been good to us that we get a deer or two almost every year. I don't remember a year that we haven't gotten at least one.
Yeah.
And stuff. And when we had the kids at home, they grew up on venison. Our one daughter still eats Eli's mom. Eli got a deer for them last year, and he's going to come out with us Sunday. Maybe we can get another one, but she hasn't ate too much. She likes more beef. Her tastes have changed since she's gotten older. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, she bought a pig, and they butchered the pig too. So.
Yep.
Anyway, I'll cut the shoulders off.
Let me get around the other side. It was a little bit more light.
So there actually is no bone that connects the shoulder to the deer. It's just all muscle. And I gotta find the I think I missed it. Anyway. I did. There we go. So Brenda's our deboner. She does a lot better job than I do. So, but really this is all just going to be hamburger.
Yep.
There is cuts of meat that you can use for a roast if you want, but we don't. We mainly use it for hamburger. I know people that grind the whole deer. To me, that's a waste because the roast, we really like the roast. I mean, cook them in the crock pot.
Stew. Yep.
Yeah. And then of course the back straps and the tenderloins. So. And that's all there is to it. Taking off the shoulders. I'm gonna need some.
Yeah, and turn it back around so you can see this side.
Use my meat plate. So normally she is starting deboning the shoulders when I come to work on the back strap, but
does it quicker.
we can't film.
Yeah. So
kind of I make a cut, a line right here about where
where they connect.
Yeah, where the hips join the spine. Then I find the backbone.
All the way down to the bone?
Yeah. I'm cutting in toward the backbone, toward the spine. And go all the way down. Come around. And then try to find the top of the rib cage. I normally go a little bigger than what it is. Make another line. I started on the left-hand side again. He's really stiff with all this fat on him.
Yeah. Just follow the bone down.
Yep. All the way down to about where the shoulders were. There it is. Now this all just is going to peel off and is all scrap. So just it's all the top of the ribs.
One on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to do on the right hand side.
Yeah.
That's we're right handed.
Actually, that one wasn't too bad. Actually. My old hands.
Yeah, the older we get.
And the harder everything is.
Yeah. Our hands hurt.
What used to take us 2 or 3 hours is probably going to take us 3 or 4, maybe even 5. So. But that's okay.
Yeah. We got all day. One day I'm not hunting. It's the only bad thing.
We used to, if we shot one in the afternoon, we'd come home, hang it up, we'd go hunt in the morning, then come home and process in the afternoon. But
Yeah.
we're not as young as we used to be.
Well, and plus we don't have leftovers, so we're gonna cook a pot of chili today, so we'll have leftovers for the rest of the week.
We're not doing our Thanksgiving till Saturday because our daughter doesn't have her kids for Thanksgiving this year, so
Yeah.
which is fine.
We'll do it Saturday. That way everybody can be there. Ta-da!
Ta-da! So I'll show you real quick.
Like I said, usually I'm cutting up this while he's doing that, so
It just peels off.
Yep.
Just like that. And there's really nothing there. Yes, people can try to get that little bit of meat out of there, but it's really. And the hardest part of here is trying to get this silver skin off of here.
Yeah, but I fillet it.
Yeah.
I take the fillet knife and just fillet it and get it off there.
This makes it real chewy.
Yeah.
If you're gonna butterfly, you could actually butterfly these like they butterfly pork chops, and you leave a little bit of that silver skin on there to help it hold together. But I'll cut these in like half, and we take them and I cook them in my smoker, and it's better than any filet mignon that I've ever had.
Don't you put bacon on them?
Yeah, I wrap them in bacon because we're taking all the fat off, so there is no fat in venison, if you don't know that. It's very lean meat. You have to be really careful that you don't overcook it, or it turns to shoe leather, more or less. So it is best medium rare. Brenda doesn't like medium rare, so I normally cook it to a little past medium rare, and then we'll throw it in the microwave for a minute or so, for her, so it'll finish cooking. Because you don't want to overcook it on the grill, because when you reheat it, if you can't eat it fresh, I mean, we normally fix enough for us that we have leftovers. So we always, if you wrap a paper towel around it so it gives it moisture when you reheat it, and just reheat it real slow,
It won't dry it out.
It doesn't dry out or cook. So
Okay.
anyway, that's it.
All right. We're going to set the camera up and let you, when we get to the hindquarters, we'll turn it back over there and show you. We'll get this all cut up.
Now I'll go in there and I'll cut all the meat out of the roast and
Out of the roast?
sorry,
Out of the neck?
Some people do take the meat off the ribs. They'll go in here and
Let me go around the other side.
they'll go in here and cut out between each one, but there is really not very much meat.
It's a lot of work, too.
In there. Yeah, it is. And there's a lot of fat. You can see the layers of meat, and it's really not very much. We actually saw a hunting show, and where the chef / butcher went in there with a really, really sharp knife and filleted all the meat off the ribs and rolled it back in one, and then filleted all his fat off.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just a little thin piece of meat, and he laid it out and put some stuff inside of it and rolled it up and string tied it and cooked it in a Dutch oven or crock pot. And it was some kind of roll that they made, but that was some fancy down there on some big fancy Texas ranch or whatever. But it's all good, to each is his own. So we try not to waste very much. There's always going to be. She shot this one in the neck,
So we'll have a.
So we didn't get
We
any,
didn't damage
any
anything.
damage in the shoulders and everything. And,
Yeah.
So the only damage was above where we cut off.
Yeah, about missed.
She about missed. But she didn't.
Yeah.
So that's a 240-yard shot. That's a pretty long way. So, and there was no tracking.
No. I let him get to the top of the hill. We didn't
Yeah,
have
at
to
least she did
drag.
that. She let him get to the top of the hill.
Yeah, we didn't have to drag him up that hill.
Anyway.
All right, I'm going to turn this off and just show you me cutting this up. We'll set it up. And when we get to the hindquarters, I'll kind of show you how to find them and how to get to the bone.
So we have 2 pots. One would be for our roast and steaks and stuff. And
Yep.
this is all for our grind.
Yep.
We normally keep them in the pots for 2 or 3 days. It lets them age a little bit.
No, the blood
stick them in there,
kinda runs
lets
out.
the blood come out of it. Some people, there's all different kinds of things on the internet. We don't mind the taste of venison, the gamey taste. There are ways to take it out. There are ways to age your deer and stuff, but we don't do none of that. We never have. But we let the meat get really, really cold and it goes through our grinder
a lot better.
a lot better.
Faster
Yeah.
when
Now,
we
we don't
grind.
let it, we don't leave it in there for a week.
No,
3 or
just
4 days tops.
Yeah.
And stuff. And grinding doesn't take that long.
and then we package it up
Yeah,
in the like
we'll
you've
show
seen
you
on
all.
my other videos.
Yeah. Oh, we'll show you all that or whatever.
Oh, the grinding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably be a couple of videos
We
of all
take our
this.
meat and our big cuts and we zip pack them
Yep.
and stick them in the deep freezer. We date them, and we have actually found meat in the bottom of our deep freezer that had been in there for 5 years, was not freezer burnt, and still tasted just fine.
Yep.
And we've cooked it. We've hardly ever thrown any deer meat away. That once we started zip packing them.
Yeah.
With the butcher paper, it used to be a lot different.
Right.
We learned how to do this when we first moved out here. Our neighbor used to butcher deer for a little extra income. He didn't get to hunt much, but so I actually would go over there and help him, and he would butcher our deer. But he showed me how to butcher deer, and he wouldn't take no money from us. So I bought him a bottle of whiskey. That was our pay, his pay. But that's how I learned, and that's how Brenda learned too, because we would go over there and help him. And she just has more patience than I do, and
But you just got to be careful.
Yeah.
I tend to get too fast and cut my finger.
She cut herself really bad last year.
Yeah.
I heard Eli go, "Oh, Grandma." And I'm like, "What? Oh, Grandma cut herself." She never said a word. They just went off walking into the house. I'm like, "Oh, this isn't good." And do you need stitches? No, I'm fine. So,
Just got to take your time.
women got the mama gene, so they can take the
We're
pain.
good. We're good.
I was like, oh. Anyway.
All right. I'm going to stop this and just turn it around. So this will probably be fast forward. Hope it's not too much information, but who knows? Maybe somebody will learn something from it, right?
Right.
All right.